Okay, so I'm gonna. Okay, and here we go. So there's Dread Scoper here, guys, and again, basically what I'm bringing you guys is the Conquest mode, obviously. As you can see by the video title, I'm basically just going to explain my strategy on how I'm going to beat it. It's relatively simple. They give you the best starting spot, basically, and it's pretty simple. Basically what you do is this is where you start off, right here in this red area. The main goal is to, in the beginning, is to basically expand your team as much as possible. So you want to go left mainly because that's where the most space is, okay? The other reason you're going left is because you're going to end up taking the Colorado Rockies. So if you take around, let's say you take the Colorado Rockies, you can then build all over here, and you can take a huge amount of space up, which will end up giving you more reinforcements for the later game, which will basically give you a huge advantage. The reason you do not go right is because you can't expand as fast. You run into a whole bunch of other things, like whatever these are called, bases. I'm going to call them bases because that makes sense for baseball. So you run into a whole bunch of different bases, and basically, yeah, you don't want to necessarily do that. At least for me, I don't. I like to expand as much as possible. That gives me as many reinforcements as possible. It's hard to expand this way because you're just running into teams. Plus, it takes a decent amount of time. You're gonna end up taking their bases over anyway. So I guess it really doesn't matter how you're going to do it. But this way is easier if you don't feel as comfortable. Basically, what you're gonna end up doing is I went up this way and I expanded up here. And then I decided that, hey, I can, play the Rockies in 3 fans to 1, so I beat them there. Um, so then I'm now probably going to go up against this one. Um, this basically cuts them off from here. This means that they can't get as many reinforcements, so they're probably not going to be able to defend on the next turn. So you would basically play them here. And make sure when you're also doing the whatever the phase is called, it's the way you steal fans. Make sure you're taking out fans from the Rockies, especially in the beginning. It's going to make it a lot easier to basically just knock them right out. And as you can see, once you knock out the Rockies, you have so much space. See how everyone else is crowded together and they can't expand really? It's going to be extremely hard for them to basically expand, or they can't really do it. So you're going to have all this space to basically take over and your reinforcements, and hopefully you can just out-reinforce everybody else. Hopefully everyone else just kind of keeps fighting each other and keeps each other in check while you can expand and basically dominate the rest of the competition. So that's the strategy. You basically go to Colorado first. You take over Colorado. Then what I would do is, depending on who's threatening you, for an example, maybe the Twins come over and threaten you, you probably want to build this way, right? So you don't want the Twins to be right here on your doorstep. It's probably not a good strategy. So I'm eventually going to build this way once I take over Colorado, or maybe I have to do that next turn. Now, so if there's someone that poses an immediate threat to you, you want to make sure that they can't oppose an immediate threat to you. You want to eliminate the threat, make sure that they're no longer going to threaten you, and then you take them out. That's very simple, I think. Other than that, you're going to want to expand as quickly as possible, which is going to basically allow you to just get more reinforcements. I've already explained that. So that's basically that. So you go to Colorado, and, in the ideal situation, you probably go up to Seattle, or I normally went down to Arizona. You might want to go down to Arizona, but at the end of the day, Seattle's a little bit closer. It's probably more realistic to go to Seattle and then just go down here and go through all of them. And that's also assuming that Kansas City and these guys over here aren't really doing too much. Since they're all crowded over here, Philadelphia can only add like 1 fan. They can't expand or do anything. Same thing with like the Yankees. It's like they can't really do too much. So it's nice to be able to have a lot of space. So now I know a lot of people are also wondering, okay, well, how should I build my team? Because these are only 3-inning games. It's almost the same thing as Battle Royale in a way, and I'm going to show you how I have my team, and this is basically day one. So I don't obviously have the perfect team, but I can give you advice onto what you should basically be needing. And the way I'm doing Conquest is I'm trying to only do it on veteran or easier because I want to, there's a lot of people out there that they can't play on veteran or they can't play harder than veteran. So I want to give you guys, good advice on basically how I'm doing it, and hopefully you guys understand, okay, he's doing it this way, I can too. So hopefully that's good for you guys. How you should build your team. As you can see, I have some gold players that you might not have. I'm going to assume you don't have some of these players, but what I am going to assume is that you can get silver starters. I'm going to assume that you can get some starters that are going to last you at least 1 inning of good solid work, because at the end of the day, you do need a decent amount of pitching. You just need a starter to go 1 inning, that's it. Or really 1.5, that's solid. That's really what you need. That's it, nothing more. Relief pitchers. You need minimum, I would suggest, a minimum of 2 relief pitchers. Get at least 1 really good righty that you rely on and 1 really good lefty that you rely on. I have a couple of solid relief pitchers here, and these guys work pretty well. This Jerry Blevins guy, very solid pitcher. I would suggest getting him if you haven't got him yet. I haven't pitched with really too many other people. So other than that, I can't comment on anybody else. But how you don't want to spend too much money on your relief pitchers or your pitchers because you're only going to be pitching with some of them. You really want to spend time on getting hitters that are going to be hitting balls. And what I mean by that is I have players. Let's look at my lineup here. I don't know if you'll have a rookie Christian Yelich card, because that card, I don't know if it's rare or not. I don't think it is, but I ended up getting one, so it's very possible that you don't have one. But I would assume that you need 1 solid power guy. I ended up getting Giancarlo Stanton from like the reward system thing. Very awesome card. Obviously, he is way overpriced. But if you can get some other cards, I assume you got the Ken Griffey Jr. I really hope you did. If you didn't, I'm sorry, but hopefully you did. But if you didn't, you need to get some other cards that are silver. There are great silver cards out there that are going to get you solid base hits. You want to get a whole bunch of people that are basically just really good at hitting the ball. You don't need to necessarily focus too much on defense here. You're going to focus on basically hitting a lot of balls into gaps and stuff like that. As you can see, this team is not very good defensively. It's 72 defense, but I can tell you for a fact that it is not 72 defense. So I can have some holes in the lineup, but basically at the end of the day, this team is good enough to go the entire way by just playing veteran, probably even all-star if I cared enough to do all those. And I've been destroying the veteran teams. It's pretty easy with this team. You don't need Giancarlo Stanton. Get just some other right fielder that has decent power. So it's like, I think Carlos Gonzalez is a solid option to get against righties. So basically, you're trying to get a lineup that can score 5 to 4 runs in 3 innings. And I know that sounds ridiculous in real life, but a lineup like this actually has been doing that for me. And it's not even anything special, except Stanton and Longoria hasn't been much. But anyways, that's how you should hopefully build your team. The bench doesn't matter too much, obviously. You can put in your utility guys there. I'll fix that later. Get a couple of solid relievers that you know you can rely on. Rotation again, nothing special, but you basically just need people you can rely on to get 1 inning of outs, and just basically that's what you need. Other than that, it's very simple. You don't need great pitching. You don't, need some of these guys to do this stuff. You literally just need really good hitters and have them go off. So hopefully this helps a little bit, because I think it should, and it's definitely it definitely should help a lot, because I know a lot of people might be confused on how to build their team, or basically, okay, where am I supposed to go? Should I go right or left? You should go left. If you don't go left, that's fine. You can try it your own way. That's up to you. Well, anyways, I hope this video at least helps you out a little bit. If you have any questions about anything, let me know in the comments below, and I will just help you guys out as much as I possibly can. And so it's gonna be that. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Hopefully you guys get a better understanding of how that mode works, and I will see you guys in the next video. So see ya.